Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
This is Doxy.
This is Zenify.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are either watching or listening to episode 198 of Greynoise, the podcast where we're going to be talking about some AI shit today. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody that it is 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night, the Friday right before Memorial Day. But we are still here with a minimal audience, but that's okay. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. This is Synshop. This is still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace. So come on down here or just go online to synshop.org, synshop.org. And for information on our classes and things that we do here, go to meetup.com/Synshop, spelled the same exact way. And for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. Let's see. Are there any announcements that I'm currently missing?
You're talking about, what was the HeboCon or something?
Oh, yes. HeboCon will be June
2nd.
Yes, it'll be June 2nd.
At 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. Cool. Perfect. So I go to a shooting class in the morning, and then I go to HeboCon in the afternoon. This is great.
Say what it is.
Oh, yes. So HippoCon is a derpy robot contest. So basically what you do is, like sumo wrestling? Yeah, so you build these really derpy robots out of spare parts from wherever, like Goodwill or
From your
whatnot.
other robots.
Yes, from your other robots. You just scrap them for parts. Even though they're really, really good, you scrap them all and just make really derpy robots.
Right.
And then, you just fight with them. Yeah.
Also on June 6th, we have board game night. Got a couple of people already signed up for that.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I saw some chatter on that about, is Jet running that?
Jet will be running that Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m.
Yep. So cool. So we do have a couple of events coming up, and of course, as always, the second Monday of every month, so even in June, we'll have the lockpick night. So
And the board meeting.
and the board meeting is coming up on the first Saturday of the month.
The day before HebeCon.
Yes, the day before HebeCon. So that'll be June 1st. Yes, there's a lot of shit going on. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where can one find out about those and more?
Of course, and I did say it already, but thank you,
you?
Mr. Satchel. Yes, meetup.com/synshop, SYNSHOP. I did say that it was spelled the same way.
That's right.
And for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. I did say that too. And we have the first drop of the day. All right, so what's new with her? Hold on. This is our first time the four of us have been together in like a month. Doxy, how are you doing?
Fantastic. What's up?
Welcome back.
Thank you. That's all.
I was telling everybody that the reason why you haven't been here is because you didn't want to do laundry for 3 weeks, and now you're wearing that shirt again, to my demise.
I mean, those things are accurate.
Yeah.
I do hate doing laundry, so yeah, for sure.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
I'm going shopping
Who
for
likes
a new
doing
washer
laundry?
and dryer tomorrow, too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Gross.
I'd spend a bunch of money.
I guarantee you there's someone out there that loves doing laundry.
Wait,
Really?
I don't know this person.
Okay.
But they're out there.
I kind of get that because I used to love to vacuum when I was a kid. Like my dad, he'd be like, pick the chores. Like he would have a list and he'd be like, pick 3 of them. And I'd always go for the vacuuming because it was just like methodical, just like mindless going. I didn't want to like wash windows or anything like that.
Right.
So
So you got to pick up your chores, and you picked the chore with the mindless movement.
yeah,
That's
You
good.
like vacuuming. It doesn't suck.
but
Oh boy.
Okay, yes. As you can tell, all 4 of us are back.
Look what I
With
look
in
what I
full
came
force.
back to.
Full force. So actually, Dox, you missed a very, very good presentation of drinks last week, actually, and you like
Yeah.
alcohol, so
it was
You
pretty
guys
good.
said stuff was still here, and it's not.
it
Yeah,
is.
where did-
You
I-
didn't check the back
I
refrigerator?
assumed you
I
guys would
did
have
check the
made.
back refrigerator.
It's there. There's the raspberries still there. Well, I don't know if the apples are still here. They might be in the
I
fridge.
don't even know if the tequila's still there.
The tequila. Oh, that might be in my locker. I try to protect it.
Oh, that's right.
I assumed
But the
someone-
Absolute is
I
there.
assumed you guys would have made drinks.
Anyway, we had
That was a really
Unholy
bad-
from i3 came. I3 is the hacker space out in Detroit, maker space out in Detroit. He came by, hung out with us, took Doxy's place, made us a really kick-ass cocktail, and
It was
now
pretty
he's
good.
gone.
Sold me some T-shirts.
Yes. And there, yeah. So if you have a brand right there, that's the brand.
There it is.
So
It's my brand.
okay, so now that we have all 4 of us back, what's new with everybody before we go on a 3-day vacation?
I got nothing.
Oh my God! Thanks, Doxy.
Yeah, I'm just going shopping. I'm just gonna go buy home appliances and
For like smart home stuff, or like
no, I gotta buy a new washer and dryer.
it broke?
It's about to.
Okay, well,
It's definitely like it was definitely the units that came with the house. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. Boring as shit.
okay. Well, riveting.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Sweet FA as well. So yeah, it is I declare my intention this weekend is to play video games for several hours.
Nice.
No, but you know what? I can't get mad at you guys
Sunday
for
and Monday I plan
Why
to do nothing.
get mad at us?
No,
for what?
I'm leading up to it. I'm saying like I can't get mad at anybody's intentions to just slack off this weekend because it's a 3-day weekend. I haven't had one of these in like months.
If you don't slack off every weekend, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
That's a good point.
I
He's got a
teach on the
strong point.
weekends. I do other things on the
When do
weekends.
you relax and enjoy your time?
That's probably partly the
Never.
problem.
That's fucking stupid. I'm gonna say that right now. It's fucking stupid.
God
Off
damn.
the top
I
rope.
know,
My
geez.
goodness.
I know. You
Tell
should have
us
been here
about
last
that.
week when they were all.
All
treating me as a
you're
punching
doing
bag.
is working all the time. What's the point?
I don't know. Productivity.
Why?
He's got a point.
Why?
Okay.
What are you getting out of that?
Yes, I understand. I'm like the person here who does not play video games.
It,
Although
it has literally nothing to do with video games.
I
It's like-
relax.
How?
I saw Avengers 2, or I saw Avengers Endgame.
You saw Avengers 2 in 2012? Okay.
No.
good.
I
Congratulations.
meant Avengers Endgame. My bad. Jesus Christ.
Last weekend?
Yeah. Wait, was it last weekend?
I've seen it 5 times, dude. Catch up.
See, now that's something I can't do. I'm sorry, dude.
Catch up.
5
Did you go see
times?
Detective
It's a
Pikachu?
3-hour
I saw that
movie.
shit
That's
too.
15 hours.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I enjoyed it. It was. I didn't really like the story.
Okay,
that
hold on.
much.
I don't want to talk
Detective
about
Pikachu?
Marvel. Oh, we're
I was
talking
talking
about
about
Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu was cool. It
was
was
good.
It was it's a movie.
And you saw
Yeah.
that shit when you were doing laundry, right?
Where there are Pokemon in the world. It's not about the Pokemon. They just
Yeah.
happen to be in the world at the same time,
Yeah.
which I think is really cool.
I really liked the style and how they actually brought them to life. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah, they look
the
good as fuck.
story was just a generic out of the box. Fucking.
I honestly feel like this was like a test run to see
Yeah.
like, can we do this? And they did
Except
it
what the
really
fuck are they
well.
gonna do if they're bringing them back? They need to bring the Pikachu back, but I'm not gonna spoil it. But they can't really do that.
Honestly, I would do a movie following Red or just like a ton of Pokemon battles and shit like that because the Pokemon
The
battles,
Pokemon
in
battles
movie
was sick.
was awesome. Like,
Or
they were
just like Team Rocket stuff, which is what I
yeah,
thought. the
yeah,
movie
do that.
was gonna be about,
Giovanni and all that
but-
bullshit.
yeah.
Do that.
There's like 5 seconds of Pokemon battles.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
There's not a lot.
But what was there was awesome.
That's true.
Yeah.
What was awesome.
Yeah.
So now that we know that like we can do it and it looks good,
Yeah.
do more of that.
And it made like 180 million in its opening weekend, so they're gonna do another.
Oh, yeah,
one.
for sure.
They're gonna- yeah.
And
I like how if I said that. They're going to do it.
They're gonna do.
Detective Pikachu was a one shot anyway. Like it was like a
Yeah.
a super obscure game in Japan that just got released here. Like it's not something that a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
people know about.
it
Yeah.
like it blew up.
Yeah. So like if they're gonna do something, I feel like they would go with the original storyline that people know and love, like Professor Oak, Red, all that bullshit.
that'd
do
be
that
cool.
stuff.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we're not a movie review podcast.
Yeah, we
though.
are.
No, we're
are
not.
now.
Especially in the beginning.
We
of
are
our
now.
episodes.
You're welcome.
I am Captain now.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Okay.
That was for a movie.
Surprisingly, I saw that movie, Captain Phillips.
I did not see that movie.
What?
I saw the meme.
Okay, well, wait, time out. I have.
for a movie podcast.
I guess that's all. I guess that's all you need to know. All right. So Zenify,
nice.
I do have a question for you regarding what we were saying earlier in the chat room this week. It was like yesterday, I think. Did you really not see any of the Terminator movies, or are you just joking?
Oh no, I don't think I've seen any of them.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You really haven't seen any of them.
I don't think so. I mean,
Even back in the day.
Are you a
Yeah.
person? Are you alive? Are you
See,
a
but
fucking
here's
Terminator?
the thing. Here's the thing.
I might be a Terminator.
You guys have to give him more shit for not doing things that. You guys get mad at me for like not watching things.
That's true.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, Terminator is a really big one.
Yeah,
Terminator is a really big one.
I mean, I'll have to like follow up with like my roommate or something. Maybe I just like it's been vanquished from my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I may have seen the first one. I'm not positive. But it was the same way. Like I never saw the Matrixes until like a couple years ago.
Wow.
I mean, you really only need to watch the first one. Maybe the second.
Yeah.
Maybe the second.
You said you could ignore everything past the second, though, right?
Terminator, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
But see,
Matrix.
I haven't
Oh.
seen movies. I give him shit because he makes an effort to watch the movies and then he falls asleep.
That is true.
Point. Yeah.
That's because I'm
That is
tired
true.
from all the productivity.
Which is stupid.
You should be enjoying your movie watching experience.
Sounds like you're not enjoying your life.
I'm fine. I like being productive.
I guess.
All right, but enough about me. So what we really want to talk about today, though, we have our first. Do you want to call it article or
Story?
Topic?
Topic?
story topic? Yes, this
Thing.
one comes to us from Doxy and other things, of course. But Doxy was the one who wanted to bring it up. Doxy, we're talking about Samsung's new AI technology, which is quite terrifying, actually. At least that's what the article, according to Indie 100.
So Zenify posted a link maybe a week ago or a couple days ago.
Which one,
I'm gonna post the Reddit one.
Well, this story has definitely been circulating Twitter all week.
Yeah.
all week.
Yeah.
So a few months ago, like way earlier this year,
was
probably
yesterday.
late last year, we were talking about deep fakes, where they could take a ton of images and like composite that face onto another face. It was mostly used for porn, which is fucking weird and creepy. So now they have this thing where all they need is a single image of a person, and they can make a video of it, and it is outrageous. It's so fucking weird.
It's very
So the examples we've
realistic,
seen
like-
are like portraits, like still portraits of like old school paintings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they have full videos of people talking and doing things, and it's really causing a question.
Like they even made Mona Lisa.
I didn't see that one, but yeah.
At least that's what was mentioned, I think, in this article
They
here.
did the Mona Lisa.
But yeah, these are
that's
these
one
are,
that's been circulated on Twitter a lot is the Mona Lisa one, and that one had like 4 or 5 like different like square frames of Mona Lisa doing different.
Yeah. So this just calls into question the validity of like video evidence and people. Oh, like, but I saw you on camera doing. It's like, did you though?
But did you?
Did you?
I don't know. It's I don't even know like what systems you can now put in place to have verified news sources, like without any doubt that that is what that person said. Like there was actually the one there was another one. It was like the Joe Rogan one, right? Like
Yeah. So again,
I
this is along
didn't
the same vein.
look at that one.
So I did see that article. So there was another. It was a big audio, not big audio file. It was like I would say 3 to 4 minutes of Joe Rogan. And I'm using air quotes. Joe Rogan speaking about things that were absolutely, of course, not his views. Where he talks about, but it sounds like him because remember he has like thousands of episodes of podcasts. So there's thousands of audio samples of him saying pretty much every word that you could think of. So he's talking about monkey in this fake video. He's talking about monkeys and chimps and like just everything that he's mentioned. And it's interesting. It sounds like him.
Was this
Obviously,
a deep fake video?
yeah,
It sounds
it's
like
100% fake.
Was somebody did someone just take his words and like clip them together like
Yeah, but-
words from different
Right.
things?
So they were clipped together. Yeah. So
Okay.
it was using machine learning and AI, but
Oh.
and so it's 100% not a time where he said anything. It's just all of these words put together to make a brand new
Yeah, so
4
you
minute
do
audio
something like
clip.
that for a politician, and
Yeah.
you take their
But I feel like that's easily refutable. Like
Yes.
if someone's just clipping your videos and putting them
Well,
together,
that's
that's,
the thing-
refutable.
That's the thing about this audio file.
was
audio
it just
file.
audio?
It was, to my knowledge, it was just audio. Yeah, and I listened to it too.
Okay.
So it was just audio, but the thing is, it is his voice, but the way that it's clipped together, you can, as humans, we can still kind of tell. For now, we can still kind of tell that there's something a little off, right? There's that point where like you can tell it's a machine. It's almost like it's failing an audio Turing test, let's say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, somebody just released, I think that was today, a video of Nancy Pelosi where they slowed it down by 75% and made it sound like she was drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what we're kind of up against as far as like what machine learning can do.
Except that's kind of like
that's not.
the test here though, because millions of people watched that video and believed it, and even Facebook has said and acknowledged the fake video, but they're not going to take it down
Why?
because reasons.
Which is weird. Which is another thing I want to
So
talk about after this.
So the whole AI, Samsung AI whatever thing, and how it's making portraits real. The stuff that happened today where people just like immediately hopped on board and like, oh, it is her, she's drunk, but the video was just slowed down. When you actually have examples like this where it's just a portrait, you get an actual image of Nancy Pelosi and you get this AI to do it, then it looks very real and you can't tell the difference. I mean, with even the progress they've made so far and what we're looking at here, it's unfathomable.
Now, the one good thing is that they can find those videos where they're giving a speech in front of people and show the same thing from a different perspective. And, you've got several different sources, theoretically, like the different networks or different websites.
Cell phone cameras, let's say.
Cell phone cameras,
like
there you go.
Yeah.
And you can show different pictures of the event. But, I mean, there's been a distorting of the message, I mean, like, well, forever, but, like, to go to one that's, like, sort of, kind of back there, like Howard Dean. The whole Dean scream where he, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole reason
Dave Chappelle made fun of it too.
Do you know why that happened? He was on a microphone that was basically a directional mic that wouldn't pick up the crowd.
Yeah.
So he's yelling over a screaming crowd, and that's why his voice is all crackly and sounds freaking crazy, because he's trying to yell over everybody. But you can't hear the crowd noise, you only hear him yelling. So he sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but that never made it out. And that's kind of the thing, like, even if this, the Pelosi video or the Joe Rogan video, even if those get refuted, the damage is pretty much done.
Yeah.
Once it hits
Yes,
viral
because-
and you get enough people on board to believe something that's just so obviously fake, but
I mean,
millions believe it.
People
Right.
don't go back to fact check.
Yeah.
We're almost at 200 episodes. We're pretty much fucked here too, because there's a lot of. Well, I think out of all of us, I'm the one who has like the most audio.
I feel like
So I'm pretty fucked.
I feel like
We could probably
I've
add a
s-
sample
I've
to that.
said way worse things that people could frame me for saying. So I'm fine. It's fine. What are you gonna say? Worse
That's
than I
true.
said?
Like
I've legitimately said things.
I know.
Right.
No, but I mean, like,
What are you gonna say that I already haven't
no,
said?
but the
Yeah,
only
it's fine.
what I was only saying is like Joe Rogan again, 1,200 almost
Right.
1,300 episodes, just a really big audio sample.
Dude, that's too
But
many
that's
episodes.
but that's
too many. Fuck that. We're going to 5,000.
But I feel if there's audio analytics, they can detect the cuts between audio sources.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's
when
a
you
bit
listen
different.
to it, you can still tell that it's fake. Like if you listen to it, you can tell that there's something off.
But
about
I guess that doesn't matter to the casual person who's just listening to like whatever.
So there's two different things with that. So one is you've got the way that it sounds like this was done. I haven't heard this one, but where you're basically making an audio collage, right? You're listening to hours and hours and hours of Joe Rogan saying different things, so you can find a the or a pogo stick or a computer, whatever word you're trying to get him to say, right? Yeah. There's that, but then there's also analyzing speech patterns.
Yeah.
Which is why I can have the voice of Google on my phone changed to John Legend.
Oh yes. So, well, that's kind of interesting. He actually he was in a sound studio to record some things.
Right.
And actually, I did change my audio or my Google Assistant to have John Legend sing me a song.
And why wouldn't you?
Exactly. It's way better than the Google Assistant voice, but that's neither here nor there.
Mine sounds kind of like Sigourney Weaver. I
Really?
settled on that one. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Anyway.
By the way, whoever's in the live stream of our Discord, which I haven't plugged it yet, but if you're in the live stream currently, I did just link a link of the Joe Rogan fake AI generated audio. So if you want to kind of follow along, that's where it is. I'm kind of interested in the back end, where like how does this all work? Where you take all these audio samples, these MP3 files or whatever. You break them down, you grab words that you're looking for. I want to know how that works. And I know that when we say machine learning, I get the basics of machine learning. You teach a bot how to do things, or you have a teacher bot, you have tester bots, and then when you have a certain confidence interval, then we can say that this bot passes the test. So I don't know how that translates to scraping audio, but that would be something that I would probably further research.
I think I'm less concerned with that and more concerned with the...
Well, I'm concerned about these social issues, but I mean, on a technical front, that's what I'm kind of interested in.
So,
go ahead.
Well, it looks, after just skimming the article real quick, it does look like this is a lot more like the second way of doing it, where, AI is actually monitoring the speech patterns. I was going to say to what you were talking about earlier, how you can kind of recognize the cuts.
Yes.
The reason for that is that when you're saying a sentence, when you're speaking, you are stringing the words together in a certain way,
like cursive.
Like cursive. The volume at which I say your before words is going to be slightly different than I say, hey, you left your car keys over there, versus you're going to the store or whatever, right? So that's where the AI would come into play. Like, okay, when should the inflection go up? Am I asking a question?
Right, yeah.
In which case, the voice usually rises in pitch at the end of the sentence, versus, if I'm making a declarative statement, then it's going to go down at the end because I'm explaining a thing.
Right.
Right? So just things like that, those are things that the AI can do and like modify the pitch slightly and stuff like that. So.
I'm just super concerned about the susceptibility, of people to these things.
Very high.
Very high.
People are already...
We're so fucked.
I think all four of us are definitely concerned about that.
People are already stupid, and like they'll believe anything they see. They sensationalize headlines. They see something like, oh, fuck, that's the truth now. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Right.
So it's...
They make everything just their reality TV show now. Because they like getting that, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that... high in their head of the drama because they have nothing else interesting going on in their fucking lives.
Yeah. And they want someone to support their platform, not political, but just anything.
Right.
So if they have these types of things, and it's like, oh, fuck, look, he said this. I'm like, well, I don't think that's very true. No, that's video.
There it is.
Or audio. He said that. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy very hard to refute how at that fast. Point. Like, that video, like, I'm just thinking of the Pelosi video. It was posted, I think, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And like in less than a day, it spread like wildfire.
Of course.
And it's just like how, like, just like you can't get like actual problems on this planet to spread that fast, but you get that shit.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Well, I can't remember who said it, but a lie makes it halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on.
Or they, I like that one, but what's the other one?
Mark
Nothing
Twain or something.
This one, Doxy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe.
Don't forget your towel. It is Galaxy.
Oh, it is Galaxy. Thank you.
Don't forget your towel.
No, well, that part, but there was a machine that was built off of bad news because nothing travels faster.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, I thought
like
Doxy would get it.
It was like Was it the?
It was a machine that ran on bad news because nothing was faster than that.
Nice.
I don't remember that. I guess I got it. It's time to reread.
I thought he was a Douglas Adams fan, but all right.
Time to reread.
No, so we're all sharing the same concern here. And okay, so this is maybe me hopefully being a hope for society kind of thing.
There's no fucking hope.
There's no hope, dude.
Yeah,
No hope.
Good luck.
We're-
We'll give it a shot.
Go ahead. Sorry. Say
No,
your,
we're
say your
not.
thing.
We're not fucked. We're not
No.
fucked.
What I'm saying is,
okay, we are fucked.
maybe when more people know that this type of shit is out, right?
But here's the problem.
Maybe they would take a second look at the video.
Here's
Like,
the
be
problem
like,
is
it-
they're not gonna know.
They're not gonna.
They're not
want
gonna look
to.
into it.
They're too
Yes.
lazy. They're too dumb. They're sheep.
And even if you put the evidence right in front of their face, they're not gonna believe and or accept it enough to be like, oh shit, maybe I should take a critical eye to this or critical ear to this. They're like, no, I see
Especially-
I see the video. It has to be true. It's a fucking video.
Especially when it just barely aligns with their beliefs. They're fucking sheeple. They're gonna go just right after it.
Wake up, sheeple!
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you're saying is true for people over our age. More for people but y'all's. But it's more true for older people than it is for younger people. And the reason I say that is because younger people have grown up with the internet.
That's what I'm saying. They know the technology.
Yeah.
At least they know that there's there's capability, there's possibility. They might take a second look at it and be like, okay, wait a minute.
And kids,
Even-
kids nowadays.
I would disagree. I would disagree with that, honestly. I mean, they are very aware that the internet exists and like the potential of it and whatnot. But I still don't think it makes them. I don't know. I don't
And
think.
they
I don't think it makes them have a more critical eye.
They
I think
research like a motherfucker, man. They know.
Do they,
how,
though?
Yeah.
I would say a lot more do than the older generation. I
Yes.
mean, that's for certain.
I don't have any hard evidence, and I can't. I'm talking about my ass,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I don't agree. I don't think so. I think it just information is more easily accessible, so like they are able to get things more easily. But they don't look too deep into
I'll
things.
have to agree with these guys here, and it's because the kids. Wow, I'm sounding like you guys.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen.
No. Look, kids or even us and younger, we know that the information is here. We know how to look.
Right.
We know how to look easily and quickly.
Yeah.
So to research, it's no longer going to the library. It's no longer having to verify here and there. It's literally using your thumbs to verify and quickly.
Right.
So I'll have to agree with Satchel and Zen here. Like, it's not hard to research these days.
Well,
and if you
Well,
know
hold
how
on.
to do it,
That's the problem. It's never been hard. It's just
No, it has been hard.
There's just a
It
large
has been
majority.
hard.
the effort it takes.
So that's where I'm gonna agree with him a little bit. So there is like the younger generation is very they have more of a mindset to research, and they can
Right.
when they care about the topic. They don't care about a lot of topics.
I disagree with that.
So they're just lazy and they don't.
No, I disagree.
time out. Okay, total not sidestep, but like, did you guys see that Snapchat filter where it turns you, if you're a man, into a woman, and a woman back into a man?
yeah,
I-
I'm an ugly ass woman.
I'm aware it
Oh, did you do
exists.
that?
I mean, I don't have Snapchat, but like, man,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
looking at some of
yeah.
these pictures and I was like, oh, holy shit! Like,
So where'd that come from?
I got
no,
whiplash.
because it's
now.
it's a thing where like you
no,
take
yeah,
a
no,
picture.
no. I
Oh,
know
because
where- I know where
I
it came
saw
from.
people
I was-
making
where
fake
did-
Tinder profiles.
No, because we're talking about the whole
oh,
deepfake
yeah.
thing.
Guys were using the filter to
Yeah,
make
we're-
pictures of
yeah.
women to make fake Tinder profiles.
Yeah,
that
we're talking
sounds
about.
terrible.
So it's like
It is very
super
terrible.
catfishing now.
Why are you
But
doing
that-
this?
But this is the world in
wait.
which we live.
So wait, what does it have to do with kids?
No. I'm saying this is what we're talking about overall, right? The fake pictures that
Oh,
are
okay,
real.
all right,
You know what I'm
sure,
saying?
right.
So again, side note, kind of, but it's
I
still
still think
related.
it's another type of AI that they're just trying to train, just like the 10-year challenge or whatever. They're like, what'd you look like in 2009 and what do you look like today? And now they
Oh.
just seek, or what's the term? Like they sicked an AI on it just to process all those images, and now they're like, oh shit, we have a aging database now.
Yeah.
So the younger generation definitely has everything at the tip of their at their fingertips, but if they don't care about it, like you said,
Yeah.
they're not going to look into it, and it's very hard to make them care about. Go ahead.
Okay, so I agree with most of what you're saying, but
But
I
not
do,
all.
But I do think that they care more than they get credit for.
That is true.
Like-
that is absolutely
Yeah.
true.
So I'm sure I brought this up before, but Frank Luntz did a poll. Frank Luntz is a notorious Republican pollster. Like he's the reason that 8 states had an anti-gay marriage bill in 2004, basically trying to help Bush get reelected. So he's died in the wool Republican. And last February, not this past February, but the one before, he released a statement like the millennial generation is shockingly liberal. Like they perceive communism to be a more fair form of government than our socialism to be a more fair form of government than capitalism. Like he just went down the line. They all believe that healthcare should be a right. Da 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 da. And I was just like, kids are gonna be all right. But like what really gave me a lot of weight to my theory here that kids actually do care is if you watch, Marco Rubio did a town hall about gun control. This was, I want to say, on the 1-year anniversary of Parkland. I want to say something like that. But these kids came with facts. They were like, you took X amount of money from these people, from these gun manufacturers. How do you justify that? And these are like kids that went to that school, So it's like...
And maybe because they went to that school, they've gone through things and they're more invested than normal kids are.
But that's not uncommon, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, for sure.
Right.
And I don't disagree that millennials are definitely leaning more liberal and whatnot. But they are definitely idealistic.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of effort involved in looking like verifying things like with these videos and whatnot, for example. Yeah. But I feel like it's still effort. And I think,
but
I don't know.
One has
so
to
are you calling him lazy?
Well, yeah, not in a bad way. I'm lazy, but yeah, everybody's lazy.
But none of them have to go to the library and look it up.
Go fuck it.
No one has to go to the library and use a microfiche to look through old newspapers.
That's what I'm saying.
But you've got Alt Tab away from fucking Overwatch or Fortnite or whatever you're doing.
For these kids, they care.
A certain sect of the, and I'm not saying they don't. And I have no hard evidence, so I can't say really one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I feel like, based on what I've seen, maybe
Really?
I don't know. I don't know, and I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just a real fucking cynic, and I just don't.
There's nothing wrong with that,
and I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm a huge cynic.
Maybe we need cynics to hold people like me down. I don't know. Keep me from floating away.
I feel like I'm the most optimistic motherfucker here.
No, you're not.
Who's more optimistic than Chen?
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the four of us?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Exactly. See?
but I feel like optimism isn't the word.
Let's take a poll, live stream. We actually have some people from i3 watching. Who do you think is the most optimistic?
I wouldn't call what you are, Chin, optimistic. I have another word for it.
What would you call me?
Among
other things.
Yeah, there's a word I can't.
I said among other things.
Can't quite say it right now, but there's definitely a different word, not optimistic.
Dead gum kids. What are you gonna do with them?
Anyway, so we're scared. We're scared. We're not scared.
I'm not
we're
scared. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
We're healthily concerned about where this future is going, I think.
No, the kids are going to be all right. We'll see. Actually, I'll tell you what. We'll see. In the next 2 years, we will have a very clear understanding of what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling fairly confident about it.
All right. Any last words on
of our future
generation?
In a good way.
I think, you know what? I will agree with that. I think once all these old people die off, we'll be in a much better place.
Man.
Even though I don't want to talk about politics, that's all I'm going to say. I will say once these old fuckers die, we're in a much better place.
That's going to help the old ideas die, but the old ideas are what has to go away. I mean, we can't.
It's a lot harder to kill an idea than it is a person.
It is.
That's like a V for Vendetta quote there.
Is that?
You can't kill an idea.
Is that a V for Vendetta?
Yeah, V for Vendetta. Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I saw it.
Do you know?
I did too. Surprised?
Do you know Hugo Weaving hated that movie?
Why?
And didn't want to be in it, and they replaced him halfway through with someone else?
What? Really?
No, I made that up. Fucking come on, son.
Gullible
God damn it!
shits.
I need a fact check.
Fake news, man.
I know, man. What the?
What's up with that shit?
Fuck you, Doxy.
Come on, son.
Anyway, all right. So I'm guessing that there's no more comment on what the fuck we're talking about
Sure,
now,
we're
right?
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
we're
fine.
dead here. Done. We're done. All right.
We're dead here.
No,
Jeez.
no.
Not yet. Jesus.
He's
Okay,
the
so
optimistic one.
this next article is coming from the BBC News. We want to talk, of course, about this because it involves Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. Earlier, when he first got extradited from Ecuador back to the UK, no charges, at least, were being charged aside from that one charge against the CFAA.
No, wait, was he in? He wasn't in Ecuador. He was in an Ecuadorian.
Oh, sorry.
embassy.
Yes,
Embassy.
I apologize. Yes,
Yeah.
he was in the Ecuadorian embassy in the UK. They brought him out, and now he's in a UK prison. And now,
All he had to do was keep his room clean.
I know.
Then he,
We'll get there.
Sorry,
we'll get there.
I don't mean to
we'll
jump
get there.
ahead.
So
Go ahead.
the headline says Julian Assange, WikiLeaks co-founder, faces 17 new charges in the U.S. So,
because of course he does.
yes, because the U.S. is looking to extradite him here and try him here and whatnot. Now, these again, he's been in custody for the last 3 weeks, month almost.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and
Since I've been gone.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's a long time, Doxy. Welcome back.
And you
Yeah.
were just jabbering.
Anyway, I wanted to talk
I
about
have
this
no- I have no
because
comment on the
do you
situation.
guys see this as an attack on what Julian Assange is doing? WikiLeaks, do you see this as an attack on freedom of speech, freedom of press?
Oh, actually,
Okay.
Oh,
well, we were talking about censorship, right? Yes, that was the thing we were talking about like all week.
Maybe.
Censorship of people, about removing people from platforms and whatnot. I don't see Julian Assange being indicted or whatever as a removal of free speech or anything like that. Seems like a shitty person. They're just going to take him to jail, right? No.
Well, there's a couple of things here, right? So, and Satchel and I were talking about this before the show started. Julian Assange started WikiLeaks as a reporting company. So, you're not talking about a platform where people could just share ideas. You're talking about a reporting agency.
yeah.
This falls under press. This falls under news reporting. It's completely different from just having a platform where people can speak and share ideas. It's different. He's leaking things. He's sharing news. He's doing what a journalist, I believe, would be considered doing, right?
He almost certainly is a shitbird. Like we
Yeah, I agree with you
we
there.
can agree on
I
that.
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know the
However-
person, but again, if he would have kept his room clean.
Because I mean, WikiLeaks isn't under fire. It's not in danger of going away, unless I'm mistaken, right?
Well, he is for setting it up or for releasing information on WikiLeaks.
Right, and I could be confused because I don't know that much. But they're not going after They're going after the founder, Julian Assange, for sure. But they're not going after WikiLeaks. They're not prosecuting anyone who still works there because it's still up and still running and still reporting. They're just going after him, and they had been for the last couple of years.
Yeah, because they want to know what his sources are.
His
That's what-
sources, and I believe they're calling into question his involvement with Chelsea Manning when all that went down. Because I believe they said that he aided her in cracking some password and whatever. And that's where if that's the case, I don't know. If that's the case, that's where it does violate the CFAA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That's no longer journalism. That is considered hacking, and of course against the law.
And that's
in that respect.
that's a weird line to toe.
Yeah, it's if you take that off the table, and you can't, it's a part of the thing, right? So if he did do that, and a court of law finds that yes, he did influence Chelsea Manning to do these things, okay, well, then we're having a conversation. Then for that, okay, yes, then he broke the law. However, if we take that off the table and we look at it just he released information, what is it that separates him from the
Snowden.
no, not before Snowden, the Richard Nixon stuff.
Watergate.
Watergate.
Yeah.
What separates him from Deep Throat? That's the guy who's
Yeah. I can't remember.
His name was
Famous-
released right before he died.
famous reporter. Fucking
I don't remember.
And yeah, he's no longer anonymous. Before he passed
Woodward.
away. Okay.
Bob Woodward.
Okay.
So where do you see the difference being between Snowden and Woodward?
Me?
Sure. Well, I have a question for everyone, not necessarily just, but
I think it's our government's. I need more time to formulate a good thought about it because I don't want to speak out of my ass. I mean, I will eventually, but I need more time.
He
to
needs more
formulate
alcohol.
Good thoughts.
Yeah.
Formulate a good thought. Yeah.
What's the
What's the difference between
what
Woodward,
I guess what
Woodward and-
underlying variables are you looking at that would constitute a
So-
difference between what happened with Woodward
Okay,
and what happened with Snowden?
so-
that's what I'm asking, basically.
I guess just
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say
Technology?
let's say you have a classified source who's leaking you information.
Right.
They're the ones who are leaking. You are just the reporter. You are your anonymous source, right? Okay. What they're saying, at least for the CFAA charge, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act charge, is that Julian Assange aided in the computer hacking to get this information. In which case, that's not just journalism; it's now partaking in this breaking of laws. Let's say.
Yeah.
So there's that. So is he just a journalist? Is there a reason to have these 17 new charges against him? Now, I believe some of these charges are, in fact, charges of espionage. but I'll have to read into that. This is just kind of a blurb from the BBC, so I'll have to check into that. But that's where the line is kind of drawn. So again, Doxy, let's say you're my anonymous source, you leak me information. I wouldn't get in trouble as a journalist. You might get in trouble if I leak you as the source, but if I'm helping you, then that's a different story. I'm no longer a journalist. And that's kind of where this
criminal.
is. Exactly. That's kind of where this is, to my knowledge. Again, if anybody wants to fact check me, they're more than welcome to, but that's kind of where it is.
Yeah,
But if this all boils down to keeping your room clean and maybe picking up after your cats, he would have still been in the Ecuadorian embassy.
Right?
So there's that.
Yeah, that was just dumb. But
so why do you think he wasn't doing that?
Maybe he got tired, dude. He was there in a room for 7 years.
You're right.
I mean, isn't that enough to make anybody go crazy?
maybe he was like, yeah, anything would be better than this. But
I would have done it a long time ago. 7 years. Fuck you. Yeah. I would've
Okay,
done
wait. What if it was 7 years, but you had all the overwatching cheeseless pizza you could have?
You would never hear from me. I would be dead in that room.
See?
What-
7 years ain't so bad.
If I don't have to work, they provide me food and gaming. What the fuck up more do I need?
Yeah, wait, how did that work? Did he have like money to live on, or did he...
No, they provided everything.
Why would you fuck that up?
I don't
What
know,
is
dude.
wrong with you?
I don't know, but that's the case. That's
Julian
what's happening
Assange,
there.
what is wrong with you? Yeah, so it looks like he repeatedly encouraged sources with access to classified information to steal and provide it to WikiLeaks
See,
to
and
dispose.
that's another
to
thing.
dispose.
But if you're encouraging,
That's where it's bad. It's not,
but that's different than aiding.
Yes.
That's way different
okay.
than
I
aiding.
agree with that,
Because I mean,
yeah.
I'm positive Woodward was like, "Hey man, just give me what you got. Just dig into those files real quick and just tell me what you guys got in there."
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Like he's not on the terminal with them being like, "Let's double type this shit CSI style," right?
And he's
That
also
was
not
NCIS, but okay.
I don't-
Whatever.
like
Fuck it.
Woodward probably wasn't so I guess in this scenario he wouldn't be providing, like, let's say, SQL injection code or
Yeah,
man
no.
in the middle code. That would be aiding.
That's
Like,
right.
Here's a piece of malware.
Yeah.
You go do your part.
He's just
now.
like, "Hey man, hack a little faster," or like, "Hey,
Get with the hacking, yo.
yeah, like figure something out."
Yeah.
As the
I
Swedish say.
I don't get why he's such a whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So the thing that really concerns me with it is he's like one of the Assistant Attorney General John Nemmers said the department took seriously the role of journalists in our democracy, but that Assange was no journalist. He says, indeed, no responsible act of journalism would purposely publish the names of individuals he or she knew to be confidential sources in war zones, exposing them to the gravest of dangers, he added. No true Scotsman would ever do something like this.
I feel like a lot have done that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but are these okay? Again, I really need to kind of brush up on my whole WikiLeaks research. But when you have an anonymous source, you're not leaking their. Well, he probably did. I don't know. Would you leak their names?
No, because then you don't get sources in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the people that he supposedly they were burning the source of, they
Yeah.
were either agents or handlers out in risky areas. Sorry.
They're in
risky.
strip clubs.
Yeah, strip clubs. No,
Working
like risky
undercover,
areas. Like let's
if
say
you know what I mean.
Let's say in the Middle East or China or
Undercovers.
wherever, right? So, I just think there's a gray line here where it comes to like journalism versus aiding hackers. Or sorry, I can't believe I just used that, but like aiding.
Is there any evidence or whatever of him aiding hackers or him hacking himself? I guess if there was, he'd be.
I don't know. He still has to go through the court, and he still has to be extradited.
Do we have what his 17 charges were?
You know what? I wish they were listed here, but they're not. But I think it ranges from, of course, computer fraud and let's see. Let me try to find this.
Valuing U.S. estimate.
Yeah, we're both trying to kind of look at this right now.
Everyone's reading on the internet.
What are the user? Oh, here we go. What are the U.S. charges? The new indictment accuses Assange of violating the U.S. Espionage Act by publishing classified military and diplomatic documents in 2010. So it might be the same charge 17 times. Like 17 counts of murder. Not that he's murdered. 17 counts of whatever the charge may
70
be.
counts of espionage.
Yeah, exactly. And that could just be 17 individual sources that have been
just
leaked.
different
Right?
sources,
17 names
different
that were dropped.
different pieces of like heavily
or
classified
articles
materials.
that he published or whatever. Yeah, because if you publish 17 articles, that's 17 acts of espionage because they're all individual because they're different.
They have different materials and contexts and
But also, I care, but also I don't like
care.
So it looks like
he's just one. I feel like at this point he's been gone for 7 years. He's not associated with WikiLeaks anymore.
Oh, he's not.
He can't be because he has no access to it. So like, why do I care? Because
I thought he had internet access in the embassy, though.
I'm not sure about that, so I don't know.
he did.
Yeah, he did. So you can
is
still manage it.
God, that'd be weird.
I can't imagine they're letting him manage WikiLeaks from his cell. But maybe I don't.
He wasn't
I don't
in a
fucking
cell.
know.
He was in a room with internet access. It's much like how Snowden is in Russia right now. Just kind of chilling in whatever embassy he is in, or wherever. I don't know.
I don't think he's even in.
He's
probably
just
just
has
chilling in.
extradition there. Yeah, he's living his life there.
Yeah. So
He's living his best life.
well, his life.
He's trying.
He's doing his own. Well, I think that what the problem is that WikiLeaks is probably fine.
Which is to me the much larger problem, and it's weird that they're not going after WikiLeaks and just after Julian Assange.
But the problem is setting a precedent, right?
Yeah.
The problem is once you say, okay, WikiLeaks is well, they're not a journalist because they did this thing. Then it's really easy to say, oh well, the guys at the failing New York Times, they're not journalists because they don't like someone.
I mean,
or whatever.
But if it's clear cut that WikiLeaks is leaking military secrets or military strategies or stuff like that, I feel like that's a easy case to make.
Okay. But then
Versus-
where's the line between you're leaking military secrets to you're leaking government secrets to you're leaking classified information to you're leaking secret government information that we just classified 5 minutes ago? Or you see what I'm saying? It's very easy to start that precedent rolling. Once you start putting clamps down on freedom of speech, which is really weird for me to say this given the discussion earlier this week. But once you start putting clamps down on freedom of speech, especially freedom of the press, that is nonviolent, then that's when you're starting to run into trouble.
And that's something that I have to read into because freedom of the press is I don't know exactly what that entails, so I need to read up on that. But I feel like that's way different, and I can't say exactly how because again, I need to brush up on freedom.
What
of
I
the press.
find is kind of interesting is that Chelsea Manning's sentence has been commuted, and she's
She's
back
not
in
free.
jail now?
No, she's back in jail.
What was she back in jail for now?
I
She
can't remember.
She refused to testify in front of a grand jury about WikiLeaks.
So I think they're going to subpoena her now.
I think they already have, and they're holding her.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is if she was out and she was, commuted, then it's kind of interesting that now Julian Assange has to kind of suffer the same, I don't want to say fate, but he's
It's nowhere near the same.
no,
They
not
fucked
at all.
her
But
up.
what I'm saying is she got dragged through the ringer, and now he's got to do the same thing for I guess his part in it. And, if it's interesting, if her sentence is commuted, then do you care about what happened or not?
They don't.
Well, yeah.
They're just
Well,
trying to
they care about what happened. They want to use it to establish precedent.
I think another thing too is when it comes to WikiLeaks, you have Julian Assange as a journalist. He's just dropping docs or he's dropping documents on whatever he finds or whatever happens upon him, whether it hurts one side of the aisle or the other side of the aisle. When you piss off both sides of the aisle, they can agree on getting you.
Yes.
And that's where I think another part is where he kind of fucked up. And I'm not saying that maybe he should be one-sided.
No.
I think he might, because he pissed off both sides, I think he was pretty objective in his reporting, I would say. Obviously, you could tell because it pissed off both sides.
Yep.
But...
during the whole crash of 2008, one person went to jail.
Yeah, it was the guy it was AIG?
Yeah, because he was ripping off rich people.
Yeah.
sucker.
Yeah, see? So there's always... well, the scapegoat is because he fucked with the rich people.
That's
Yeah,
it.
so-
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We had a couple of comments in the live stream that Satchel has a better voice of reading, so I'm going to pin that on him.
Where are we at?
Right at the bottom, I
about
think.
the images.
Oh, shit.
A more detailed explanation of his living quarters or whatever. So it seems like he had a pretty sweet setup. He's being a real bitch about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa, the first floor of the embassy? I thought he just had a room.
Yeah. No, he fucked
you
up.
get-
Okay, so according to
our...
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're checking. We're getting
from our
fact-checked,
live stream here.
which you should all be on. Sorry.
Absolutely. Okay, whatever. So Mionas says, looking at images, Assange basically had the run of the entire first floor of the embassy. He had a personal room, access to their kitchen, and an office/bedroom that he used to manage WikiLeaks while staying in the embassy. So,
Plus, he had a cat.
Plus, he had a cat. The fuck?
So he's
Why would you screw that up?
So he's being a real bitch about it.
Right?
Maybe just like he became too. I mean, he clearly wore out his welcome.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Unless Ecuador was getting all kinds of pressure from the US.
And that's possible too, but
You
I
know.
can't say.
Yeah.
So, if this sounds like old news for anybody, it kind of is, but at the same time, again, 17 new charges, according to this article, and this was like a couple of days ago. So
They're gonna get him.
this actually comes from yesterday, May 23rd. So
I mean,
one way or another.
Chelsea Manning got again. Actually, yeah, you're right. I mean, she did get her. Didn't Obama at the last minute commute her sentence?
I don't think so because he
did.
He
pardon Manning.
He pardoned Manning
He didn't pardon. There's a difference between pardoning
and commuting.
pardoning and commuting.
Oh, okay.
He commuted the sentence, which doesn't that is it kind of like the same as
It's
time
basically
served?
time served.
Okay, yeah, time served. Yeah.
Because people had petitions for Chelsea and Snowden.
Yeah.
He didn't do Snowden though.
Right.
Yeah. So
No, he didn't, and it's not going to happen. Not with this administration.
Not yet. No.
Anyway, so there's that. Any other thoughts on WikiLeaks or Assange in general?
Nope.
Nope. All right, let's go back to the lightning round then, because
go back. You mean just
it
just
is.
start
Well,
the
back
lightning.
from 7 days ago, right?
Go back to the forwards or whatever.
Back to the forwards. Okay, so we are still kind of. Let me just give a little bit of background
Okay.
here. We are kind of in search for a new news source. Akeen actually last week suggested that we do Schneier on security, which is interesting because he does have a lot of interesting news sources or news posts that are not kind of run of the mill. Hey, WikiLeaks or not WikiLeaks? WordPress plugin vulnerability of the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more thoughtful and whatnot, but they seemed to be blog posts that need to be read. You know what I mean?
Which
You can't really glean anything from the headlines. So
right.
So for now, I'm kind of back on the Hacker News until I find another new news source. The news source that I was using in the bot that I was working on in Discord, that
Oh,
news
you're
source.
working on a bot?
Yeah, we should talk about that later.
I hadn't heard about that.
Okay, shut up. But that news source pretty much posts like one new article a week, so it's very scarce. So for now, we are going to thehackernews.com. We are going to give our tweets length of an opinion because this is the lightning round, although it never really is. So let's get started. Who wants to go?
Me.
Doxy hasn't been here for like a month, so yes, Doxy, you get to go first. We're going to skip the first article because that was exactly what we were talking about for the last 20 minutes. But for headline's sake, it does say U.S. charges WikiLeaks Julian Assange for violating the Espionage Act. All right, next article. No, the next article. Tor browser for Android, first official app released on the Play Store.
I'm very curious about how well it works. Because Tor is slow as shit. And it's not a great browser to use for no reason. So I'm very curious.
And if you are using it for intended reasons to circumvent and get to onion addresses, you probably don't want to be using it on your own personal device.
Right. Because
even though it anonymizes you, it doesn't fully.
It says a profile. It knows what
Yeah.
device you use. It knows
Right.
your Mac, your fucking IMEI and all that shit.
There are
And so-
attacks that they can do to fingerprint you on the Tor network, such as your screen size and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So
So
that's
they'll
what-
tell if it's on an Android phone.
That's what Magic Dave told us all those years
Exactly.
ago.
So,
And well, not only that, but if the government is like, oh, okay, I know what port Tor uses or whatever, they could detect it that way, right?
no,
Or is it still? It's just over 80, over port 80.
no.
No, it's over 9,000.
91.
It's over 9,000.
No, it's 9150, I believe, is what the port is.
Yeah.
But you have other anonymizing measures in place.
But they can just say that person is using Tor is where I was going with that.
Yes,
Like,
they can say that. They can't fingerprint you.
right.
They don't know where you
right off the
went,
bat,
but
at
they
least.
know you use Tor.
And if a government is like, hey, I'm looking for suspicious people, that guy's suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been. Well, no, I don't use it every day, but like
Real quick lightning
Orbot.
round.
Yeah, I know, right? Orbot.
Tweets link. No, go ahead.
Orbot is what was used before this. This is like an unofficial Tor app, so now it's interesting to see how this one will be different. And yeah, it is kind of slow as shit. That's why you only use it when you need to. Okay, next one. Let's see. Update. Hacker discloses 4 new Microsoft 0 days in the last 24 hours. Great. That's basically every what, 8 hours? Or sorry, every 6. I don't know. Can't do math.
I don't have a problem with people disclosing 0-day exploits unless they haven't given the parent company appropriate amount of time to release it themselves.
Yeah.
That, and I like obviously the disclosures and then the patches that follow to help these issues. But what I don't like is when they break stuff in the process, like the whole RDP thing last week, and then it broke Citrix.
Oh,
yeah. Did they fix
that's why.
I don't know if I haven't. Honestly, I didn't want to fucking touch that with a stick yet.
Yeah. We've been having
Turn off
problems.
your Patch Tuesdays until you know if it's
Yeah.
fixed.
Right.
Okay, next article. You guys will love this one because we actually talked about something similar a couple of weeks ago with Facebook, but this one's with Google. Google stores G Suite users' passwords in plain text for 14 years.
Here's
God
the thing.
damn it.
So 14 years ago was 2005.
Yeah.
That was like, when did Gmail come out? Around that
2003,
time.
2004.
Around that time.
Yeah.
No one knows what the fuck they're doing. Everyone is just like, hey man, this works. This works for now. Let's get it up and running, and then we'll figure it out later. Shit starts building, you fix it up, and then you're like there's all these like shitty pieces that are still there that no one's ever gone back to fix until someone's like, oh fuck, there's like a exposed database, dude. You should lock that down. They're like,
Yeah.
fuck, okay, now that you've seen it, I guess I have to. Shit is rampant.
Yeah.
Every company,
Every.
I guarantee
100%.
every major company has plain text passwords, shitty databases with all the same passwords. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that it's not bad. It is bad, but like everyone's doing the same goddamn thing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll just use this as a testing ground. Like, oh no, that's good. Just use that.
Yeah, just use it in production.
Put it
God,
in, and then 14 years later, like, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The dude who made it has been gone for
That's
20
exact-
years,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, we never went back and looked at that.
Dude,
we never
I'm
audited
so-
it because you don't fucking do that because you're like, oh, it works, it's good, let's move on.
It worked
I'm
today. It'll
so
probably work
on
tomorrow.
board with
Yeah.
what you're saying, only because it's like every company I've ever gone to and companies that I've done, security assessments for and everything. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe I get to go inside this company's network.
Well-established companies.
It's gonna be beautiful. Get inside there, I'm like, holy.
It's a
fuck.
dumpster fire.
Every time I go to a company, every time I work for a company, I'm like, oh, they're super well established. They've been doing this for a number of years. They're super good.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't know where the fuck these things are.
Yeah.
Someone had them at some point. They're probably in documentation, or maybe they're on a sticky note somewhere. Good luck. Every company is
Yeah.
like that. Every fucking company. Not saying it's good or
Yeah.
that it should be allowed. But
Well, what are you gonna do?
It's
People
literally
are
every company.
people.
So
Yeah.
for people in the world,
People.
I don't.
And companies are companies too.
Companies are companies.
So the old gray beard that set up that server somewhere off in the corner back in
Yeah.
'04,
When he was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, man, I got it secure.
Yeah,
I'll just fucking I'll
and,
put
and,
a
and that
password
guy's
on this.
fired and replaced with
Nobody's gonna know
He's
this
been
password.
gone. He's like, I'll put a password on this text file. We're good to go. They're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you're totally fired and replaced with contractors. So see you later. He's like, okay.
All right, last article.
Oh,
good.
no, go ahead. Oh, one thing about the G Suite thing is that they were stored in plain text, but it was only accessible on Google's network, so it wasn't exposed to the public.
But that was the same thing with the Facebook thing, where they were storing plain text passwords. There was no breach, but they were still storing the plain text passwords.
No,
Still,
it's absolutely.
employees could find them,
Yeah.
and
They could absolutely. It's bad, but it's not
it's not
Yeah.
as bad as it could.
barn door wide open. Well, the barn door was open, but the
There's a
pasture
fence.
still was fenced.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
fence. Okay, last article here. Let's see. A proof of
Go ahead.
concept exploit for unpatched Windows 10 0-day flaw published online. So probably another 0-day.
Yeah, it kind of goes up to the
Yeah.
couple articles
same
up.
thing. And of course, I haven't read it, but like, if they gave Microsoft an appropriate amount of time to release the exploit, I'm fine with it. They didn't. They're fucking dickbags. So,
Well, there's a big market for 0-day, dude.
I mean,
Like 0 days get sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'm aware of that, but also fuck those people. I don't give a shit about money. Fuck them.
Okay. That's you. There are other people who don't feel that way.
There are other people who fucking because they're shitty people.
There are shitty people.
They're shitty people. I don't give a fuck. Would you? Whatever.
Go ahead. I'm really interested.
What the fuck
here
did
now.
you just say? Like,
Would you sell 0 days?
I don't know how to make a 0-day.
If you could think about it right now, if you discovered
No,
a 0
look,
day,
there's responsible.
if you discovered a 0 day in
There's
Windows right
responsible.
now,
I wouldn't do it.
okay
To answer
then,
your question.
okay then.
Would
No,
I sell it to
but
who?
I'm saying
Huh?
To who? Who would I sell it to?
Anyone, highest bidder.
Like some hacker comes out of the shadow. Hey, I heard you got a 0 day.
Like you discovered it. Like you're the hacker.
Yeah.
You discover it,
Right.
and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna sell this.
I'm
asking if you would. Rather.
What
It depends on to whom.
Not the company. You don't give the company a chance. You're like you put it on you put it on the dark web, and you're like, hey, you're like I found this thing about Windows.
As we learned like 100 episodes back, the only company that currently that I can't think of that does not have a bug bounty program was Adobe. They do not have a bug bounty program. Firefox has a bug bounty program. Google, Facebook, they all have bug bounty programs. And so there is responsible disclosure if you do discover a 0 day. It's not always having to sell to the government. All I'm saying, or anybody, company, all I'm saying is that there is a market for it where there's hundreds of thousands and millions
There's
of dollars.
a market for everything. That doesn't make it okay.
I didn't say it was okay. I'm just
Why
saying that there's
why
a
are you
market.
arguing for them?
I'm not arguing for them.
Then what is the point of this conversation?
I'm just letting you know that there's a market for it.
Everyone knows that. Otherwise, why would they be selling it, dude? Everyone knows that.
I mean, he's kind of got a point.
All right, well, I wasn't saying that I agree with them.
Again, then what's the point of this? What's the point of your statement then, if not to agree with them?
You're right. I have no point.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we know there's a market for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be publishing 0 days.
Yeah.
We know that. I'm just saying.
Okay.
He's just saying.
That's all.
That brings us to the end of the lightning round. Which brings us to the end of the show. We've run out of time, as you can definitely tell today. Never out of shit to say. So we'll be here next week, I believe, all of us.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well,
I'm all tapped out.
Okay, we say that now.
I accomplished my mission.
To be here, right? To attend.
to be back here was the end of my mission, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so join us again next week where we are still going to be here at the Sin Shop. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Go to sinshop.org for information on the shop. Go to meetup.com/sinshop for information on the classes that are coming up. And for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. As always, we don't talk shit about Sweden, so we're still using that domain for now.
Great healthcare.
Yes.
Way to go, Sweden.
My name is Master Chen.
This is Doxy.
This is NFI.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody. No, my only...